The only thing that you can do to guarantee that you were treated well is be prepared to walk away.
When y'all get a chance, look at that video. Yeah, and make sure y'all follow her page. She does some great content around being a nanny, especially a black nanny. Y'all don't understand. We go through a lot, but I love her page. Anyway, in that video, she said be prepared to walk away. Now, this might be a little long, but I want to tell y'all about this client. I was working this nanny job, and when I first started working there, to me, I was making $19 an hour. Baby, I was in there like swimwear. My bills were getting paid because I went from about to get evicted, robbing Peter to pay Paul, to shit, I got enough money to actually take the kids to Pizza Hut. We ain't got to go to Little Caesars. I was making some money. Y'all forget, I had 2 kids before I was 19. So I've always had job. I've worked 2, 3 jobs at a time. Being a nanny was the first time in my life where I didn't have to work 2 jobs because I was making enough money from one job. So I was doing everything. They would leave dishes in the sink from the weekend. If the kids, whatever the kids ate Saturday and Sunday, they left those dishes in the sink. Whatever pots and pans they cooked with, they would leave them in the sink so I could do them Monday. Whatever they used, they would clean. Whatever the kids used, they left it in the sink. You heard what I said? Okay. So I wasn't bothered about it. Then the mama started asking me to wash and braid the little girl hair. That wasn't no problem because I was giving her the box braids. I ain't doing no back. I don't know how to do all that. She getting a good wash. We washed her hair every 2 weeks. Same thing I do with my nanny baby now. I'm going to wash and style some hair before the weekend. I got to do her hair tonight. So doing all of that, left all of that alone. I was like, okay, that's fine. I would go to activities with the kids if they had stuff for school, everything. Rah, Miss Queen, the best nanny, all of that stuff. Then probably after 5 months of being with them, they were like, oh, my father-in-law is going to come over in the afternoon because his home health nurse something, hours change. So instead of him coming over on Saturday, he'll come over on Friday afternoons, but it'll only be like 30 minutes before you leave. It won't be long. And I was like, oh, okay, that ain't no problem. My mom's been in hospice care since I was like 15. So working with elderly, it don't bother me. But they started trying to get over on me. It went from 30 minutes to an hour to a full day. And I was like, whoa, when did it become him being here for a full day? I looked up one time and I was like, wait a minute. He been here every Thursday and Friday. And they've been leaving him here with me. I'm cooking and making sure he eat. I was like, no. So I emailed the agency to let them know that was what was going on. They was like, oh, it's okay. You know, sometimes we have to go over and beyond for our clients. No, the fuck we ain't. Sorry. But no, that's not what we're doing. So I said something to them about it. And then I made sure to follow up with an email so they understood this is a paper trail. Hey, she's starting to leave the father-in-law at home longer than just a, hour that I'm comfortable with. Then he started having outbursts. Like his health started declining, so he started having outbursts. And then one day I was sitting at the table, y'all. He hit that table so hard. He said, Pop, who told you to sit at this table? This is not the table for the help. This is the table for me and my family. Get your black ass off the fucking table. He was just cussing. I was like, what? And then he sat at the table and bring me my supper. So I told them, hey, he's starting to have outbursts. Y'all might want to come and check on him. I don't know what's going on, but I'm gone. He got into the liquor cabinet, and when they came back, he was drunk. He had pissed everywhere. It was crazy. They ain't got nothing to do with me because I'm not a home healthcare person. They were, why would you let him? I ain't let him do nothing, baby. I was gone. And so then one day, I was getting the kids in the tub, y'all. And this man was coming up the stairs with a belt. And the 5-year-old was like, Grandpa, you can't hit Miss Queen with that belt. I turned around and that man was getting ready like he was whooping me like I was a slave. I looked that man right in his face and said, you hit me, I promise you I'm going to push you down those steps. What did you say, nigga? You hit me, I'm pushing you down those steps. And I knew they had cameras, so I know they could see what was going on. But they act like, oh, I don't know what what's going on? Okay. So I made sure to tell the agency about that. And one day I was sitting, me and the small baby were sitting at the table. I was feeding her. Well, I was trying to teach her to feed herself, like putting little stuff on the table on her high chair so she could pick it up and put it in her mouth and stuff. And he came over there and grabbed me by my shoulder and said, "Get your ass up and get in there and clean up." I said, "Hey, this is your last time touching me." I told the mom and dad, "Hey, somebody needs to come home. Your father-in-law just touched me." They were like, "Oh, we're on our way." They never came home early. They still came home on their regular scheduled time. So since they thought Fat Meat was greasy, when they got there, they were like, "Oh, now what happened?" Because when we looked at the camera, we didn't see anything. I said, "Oh, okay. Well, I quit." It was like 7 o'clock. I wasn't supposed to get off until like 9 when the kids went to sleep. I said, "I quit. I'm not doing this. I've been saying something to y'all for months about your father-in-law. It went from, oh, he'll be here for 30 minutes to an hour to him being here every Thursday and Friday, and I am not getting paid extra for that." I quit. And they were talking, when I say talking crazy, "Oh, you'll be back because you can't afford blah, 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 blah." And I quit. I got in the car. I cried all the way home because I had just quit my job and I still had bills to pay. I'm still a single mom of 2. I still got stuff I got to do. And I just said, I have to pick me. I have to know my worth. I have to understand that this is not how work is supposed to be. I'm not supposed to be stressing at work. I'm not supposed to be crying when I get in the car because I got to deal with this man who shouldn't even be there with me. But people will take advantage of you as long as you let them. And when the agency called me and was like, they emailed us and said that you quit. I said, y'all didn't do anything to protect me. I said, so I had to protect myself and my own mental health. I quit. Well, we're not going to be, I don't care. I don't even want to work for your service anymore because y'all didn't care about me. Oh, God, you're being a baby. It was just a few. I hung up in the lady face when she said that and blocked them, I think. But it was so uplifting to me to do that for me because I had to understand that it is okay to walk away from a hostile environment. It is okay to walk away when things are not going how I know they're supposed to go. It is okay to walk away when the stress level is too high. My health is more important. My life is more important than to be stressed out for a few dollars. I can find another job. I think I was off for like a week or 2, and then I found an even better nanny job. And they had they had their in-laws at the house too. However, them folks said, we're gonna pay you extra because the I think the home nurse left at 5 o'clock. I got off at 6:30. They gave me an extra $50 for just staying at the house. But their in-laws had their own suite in the back of their house. They weren't in the house. And the most they would ask me was to get something down off a counter, or the mom would sit outside and drink her coffee and I would sit out there and talk to her. The dad just wanted to play with the grandkids and I would sit and monitor dad to make sure the grandkids weren't trying to climb all over him because he was older. They would call me if they fall. Like one time the mom had failed trying to get something. So I was like, why you didn't just call me to get it? And she was like, I didn't want to be a bother. And I was like, all right. I gave her a hug and said, it's okay. So when you talk to me and you treat me as a person, I don't mind helping you. But when you try to get over on me because you're like, this is your job, it's not. And that was my first time that I had to walk away from a job. And I was so happy that I did it because I believe in me. I know my worth. And I'm not stressing for now. Job, person, place, a thing. This is my life and I'm the star.